Boom, what's up, team? Finally, time for season 6. It's been an awesome series. If you haven't listened to the last 5 seasons, highlights, we got like the clip notes for you. We went back, we pulled out the most listened to episodes in each season. We pulled out the best moments in those episodes, and we gave them to you in one episode. So we're doing another recap for the final season of the Executive Protection Lifestyle podcast that we've done to date, and that's season 6. And it's just power packed like all the other ones. And remember, I'm going to be dropping a new podcast. I'll still drop things on Executive Protection Lifestyle, every once in a while, but we're moving into the era, the new season of the Man of Peace podcast. And so that's going to be my primary focus. So if you haven't started getting ready for that, start looking for the Man of Peace podcast. And that's where we're heading, guys. So nonetheless, this episode is going to be best watched on YouTube. If you don't watch us on YouTube, well, don't watch the podcast on YouTube. Look us up on YouTube. Link is on the screen. And sit back, relax, and enjoy the Season 6 Executive Protection Lifestyle podcast highlights recap. Let's go.
What we can do and compete as well, or even surpass, our counterparts with this,
Yeah.
And not coming from the conventional, what they would call, quote unquote, where you should come from to get into this industry, prior military, prior police, and so forth. So I didn't come from that background.
I love it. Let's go.
I just got into a lot of everything and anything I could get into to learn as much about this field as possible.
Right.
And, my background, to be honest, I was a professional athlete for 10 years that I played in 43 countries. So traveling for me around the world was second nature, because your agent call you got to go here, you got to go there, you up and go, and you go and you figure it out. You learn. The hardest thing in situations like that was actually just learning the situation. The game that you know how to play, you play. But you got a culture, climate, different adversity, you know what I mean? So you had to figure it out rather quickly. So for me to transition into what we're doing now, it was not that hard once I figured out this is what I really wanted to do. This is what I meant to do,
Yeah, no, that's awesome, man. And it's really cool how those experiences translate over. And this is a dynamic I see with a lot of the civilians at the top of this game. And I love that you came out with that, but a lot of guys listening are they'll hit me with questions like, you think, do I have a law enforcement? If I don't have a law enforcement or military background, can I still be successful? And I'm like, absolutely, man. There's so many guys that have successful companies that are at the top of the game, which is still a tough spot, but that have that civilian background. So it's not something that don't let it discourage you, but learn everything you can about the game. And I see the civilian guys, that's like what sets them apart, because they take this game seriously, because they don't have I already been to Iraq, I already been to war, or I was law enforcement, I'm already, too cool for school. This is their game. And so they take this game serious. And that's the difference.
Yeah. To me, it's my advantage, to be honest. I haven't been tainted with a lot of bad habits. You know what I mean? So you just gotta figure out your strong point versus your adversary's weak point, and you dominate on that quicker than it is. It's just like a sport for me, you this, that. I mean, it was several situations that just throughout the whole 10-year me being in the business, that people could say, oh, you're too big, you're too that, you're too this. But for real, I'm really what you need. You know what I mean?
Yes, I love how you dropped that, man. I was drinking my matcha.
I'm really what you need. So you just got to learn the craft. You got to learn the craft and keep learning the craft, because things are changing so much. And you got a lot of new tools that you can add on with AI and so forth. I mean, you just gotta be pliable, but still the basics of what you've learned within this business will always keep you on the right track. Once the basic structure, that will help you all the way.
Yep. It's like you nail down your fundamentals, and all the different tools and tactics and everything, they just help you do the fundamentals better. It's like now you have some things that help you do those better. 2024 Presidential Lifetime Achievement Award recipient, my man, Anderson Herbert, man. What's up? How did that happen? Let's talk about that one. I need one of them for just, if you got cheat codes,
Well,
Congratulations, first of all. Congratulations, man.
Shoot. Man, I'm humbled. I'm humbled and truly grateful. And like I said, it's still soaking in on me. It was some work that I did in Africa for a particular client, and I crossed paths with them a year and a half ago, 2 years ago. It's okay. 2 years now in Northern Africa. And we spoke briefly. He said, man, I truly appreciated what you've done for me or whatever. Mm-hmm. And he said, I'm going to send in a message for a nomination. So I said, I mean, as normal, I'm very respectful. I said, thank you, sir. Whatever you do, that's grateful. And I kept on doing what I was over there to do.
Right.
Think nothing of it, kept on moving. Yeah. And then I got some calls and I was in talk with some people, mm-hmm. and they started getting information about me and doing what they need to do. And they said, well, we'd like to nominate you with the award. And I was like, who are you talking about?
Right.
Like, who are you talking about? I have no idea who you're talking. No, you for all what you've done, and someone recommended you. I said, for real? I was like, okay, yeah. All right, thank you. So
I say thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, I showed up and got vetted doing what they needed to do with me, and then the award was given to me on 29th of March. Mm-hmm. It was March. What month we in? I'm sorry. Last month. It was last month.
Yeah.
And I mean, I was totally grateful, and things are better when you have no idea where it was coming from. It didn't come from me. He didn't have to do this. You know what I'm saying? So, shout out to the client. You didn't know who they are. I've never mentioned. I was grateful, and just mostly truly appreciative, and appreciated for everyone who had hands in creating the man that you see today. From my parents, of course, mm-hmm. my instructors, coaches, I mean, everybody who poured into me to create who I am today. You know what I mean? So this is really not really, get a little choked up here. It's not really to celebrate me, but really for them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
Especially Miss Herbert. She's waving this around like a banner, and it's all to her. So
yes, that's beautiful, man. That's amazing. That's awesome.
To get into space, you did so many different things just to get into the space. I mean, the halls and walls, the CP, the gate, the overnights, the non-attractive stuff in the car.
Christmas in the car.
Christmas, New Year's, birthday, it don't even
all
matter.
Of them. Hoping the client brings you a plate.
Yeah, I've been fortunate enough to been able to service some good clients. I remember one client, it was kind of odd. He wanted pizza for the day, and he just wanted one slice, but he ordered 100 pizza. He said, y'all can have it. I was like, okay. I mean,
okay, we'll find something to do with it.
Yeah, but sometimes if you spend enough time at a barbershop, you end up getting a haircut.
You'll get a haircut, yeah.
You gotta stick around, and I've stuck around. And one thing for me that worked for me, that one particular client I was with for 6 years, I mind my business. I don't get into, because when you end up spending a lot of time with people, things tend to.
You hear things and things get.
You hear things and it get messy. You know what I mean? And I've never been into that. So if I hear that, I'm going the other way. I don't get involved in that. That ain't what I'm here for. You know what I mean? I keep my head down, my nose clean, and be reliable and be where I need to be all the time. Be where you need to be all the time. You know what I mean? Yes. So I've always prided myself in that, and I'm a bigger guy, so I always back myself up with everything. From extra clothes, extra suits, extra shirts. I mean, so up to this day, I still do the same thing. Like, I got 2 or 3 of everything, you know what I mean?
Yep.
All of this, I'm saying all this helped me to be who I am. And all the people who who's put their hands on me in my life to create me. You know, I appreciate that. I learned a lot from so many people. Like, I mean, it's countless, you know? So this is for them, not me.
This is going to be relationship building. Everyone will feel like one big family after this event, and business is the commerce of relationships, right?
So what did I have to do with that? I don't understand.
What you have to do with that is you're going to be on the stage having one of those conversations, man, and serving everybody.
All right.
You know, so yeah, man. I mean, your topic, celebrity protection, of course. Maybe.
Only because, you know, I like to talk about things that I know extremely well. Yeah, and that's the sector there. That's the sector that I spend the majority of my time in. It's not the only thing I do by far, but that's the thing I'm best known for. But it's also the thing that I think people get wrong, you know, quite a bit in our profession. So there's misinformation that's out there. There's bad actors that are out there, but there are people that are doing it well, and those things aren't highlighted. And the last part of it is there's people who are in that space or want to get in that space, and you just don't know what you don't know. And it's the nuances of a thing. I would say, you know, with protection work, it all has the same basic foundation, right? You know, so whether that's protection of the clergy, whether that's corporate protection, working with celebrities, working with dignitaries, the foundational elements are the same. Those are great. You need to know those. But then as you start getting to these specialized fields, these niche areas, right? You have to be able to understand the nuances that work in that space in order to succeed. Anybody can get in. Anybody can do it. It's whether you have any longevity. You know, it's whether you're able to operate in that space for a year, operate in that space for 5 years, operate in that space for a decade. Because I think overall, that's our goals, right? Is to do things that we like to do for a long amount of time, up until the point where we choose not to do them anymore. And I think you can fall in love and be in love in this industry. You can do what you like. I love what I do, bro. Yeah. And I can tell you love what you do because we have conversations offline. But I love what I do because I've figured out the way to make it work for me. And I've also learned how to say no. But if you don't understand the parameters, if you don't understand, you know, where your value is, if you don't understand how to show the client the value that you provide, right? You don't put yourself in a position to say no because you need that check. Right. You know what I mean? Or you're worried about that job. You're worried about that callback. But the tools, and that's from me, from Anton, the other presenters that are here, the tools that you get, you're able to take those because they come from experiences. Right. And I got this little tagline. I say real world versus textbook. It's because I understand what the book says, right? I understand how you're supposed to do it, but then I make the adjustments, right? To make it practical for the field that we're in. And if you can do that, the clients notice that either overtly or innately, but that's the thing that keeps your phone ringing. Yeah, man. My fault, lost words again, bro. Yo, my man just over here dropped it. You know, right? That was beautiful, man. That was light as a feather and single. I mean, it was good, man. That was good, bro. That was good. I love it. Man, okay, so that's what you're going to get. This is going to be a client-led conference. This is going to be you guys are going to be leading the convo. Me and Elijah are going to be up there talking and literally trying to tease out questions you guys have and contribute on the highest levels. EP Expo, all the info's underneath. Go ahead. And I just want to mention this too, because to that point. So, so I do my own podcast and a series of talks and stuff, and I do something called EPHQ. And the most popular topic that we keep going back to when we're selecting topics is the Q&A piece. You know, it's the thing because the worst thing in the world, man, is sit in the audience somewhere and have a question that's burning and it never gets discussed on the stage, right?
And you got to you got to go home without even.
You sit through all of that, right? You know what I mean? And then you're like, but the thing that I had doesn't get asked. So if you put yourself in an environment, let me tell you why people go to training courses.
Let's go.
People go to training courses to learn a skill. Absolutely. But they also go to network. They also go to interact with people, right?
Yes.
Now you network a couple of different ways. You network with people that are on the same level with you, right? And then you also network with people that are above you, because that way there, you expose yourself to new opportunities. You expose yourself to new mindsets, right? So if you go to something that gives you the opportunity to do both of those, to learn new skills and to meet people, but it also allows you to get your specific questions answered, I think that's like a match made in heaven. So I say all that to say, if somebody's coming to this particular event here, or anywhere you go, the questions that you have, make sure they get answered. You know what I mean? If the format doesn't allow for it, that's when you grab somebody to the side and you're like, look, here's the thing. And whether that's, am I charging the right price point? Do I live in the right city? Is the sector that I've been spending my time working in right for me? These things might not, the answer that you get might not be the one that you wanted, or it might not be to the degree of detail that you wanted. But if you apply yourself the setting provides for that. You know what I mean? The setting allows for you to make that attempt, as opposed to, I'm just going to sit back. This dude's going to do 30-minute PowerPoint. He's going to talk about how cool he is. And then he's going to walk out the door and I'm going to be like, damn, I just spent all this money.
Yeah.
Like you're not finding the value out of that thing. And so one, I think you're on the right path with trying to set up something that allows for that. But I think your audience, which is one that doesn't think they have all the answers already, so they're inquisitive enough. And I just encourage them to have that open dialogue, to be able, like, if you're gonna go there, and like you say, when they leave, make sure people remember you in some way, shape, or form.
Right. That's awesome. Yeah, no, and I think on that, and you said a bunch of amazing things.
Yeah, a lot of stuff, bro. I should have.
No, it's good. You
just do like this, man, and I'll shut up.
Nah, man. I gotta let it run. You know me, man. You can't be here all day talking, but it's good though, man. And I think on that too, people discount the importance and like the business value even of relationships with peers. I think that a lot of guys in the game are like, oh, I'm looking to shake Elijah's hand, or is this other dude who owns a company's hand. Yeah, you're looking to shake that guy's hand. Everyone's looking to shake his hand. But a lot of your work in this game is going to come from one of your homies that you did an op with a few weeks ago, who's going to be like, yo, the company I'm working for, they need like 4 dudes. Yo, we did that thing. It was solid. You happen to be available on the bop, 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 bop. That's where like so much of your work's going to come from, is that local network of peers, to the point where like me and my guys out here, it's almost like we're like the graduating class of, the industry, worked the same details, pulled each other in on the details. Now we all got kind of PPOs and we're all kind of helping each other with staffing and supporting each other. And so I really want you guys to understand the value of that, of being in a room full of your peers who are currently doing it, because that's just tremendous as well. And of course, on top, meeting folks that can pull you up as well and introduce you to concepts.
But here's the thing, just to kind of piggyback off that. You can't tell me how good you are. I mean, you can, but it doesn't hold as much weight as if someone else says, oh yeah, that guy, he's solid.
Yep.
And so it acts as a force multiplier. So when you meet your peers or whatever, a person that's on that same level as you, and you develop those relationships, or you come up together, your battle buddies, whatever it is in the training course, those are the people that will co-sign you.
Yep.
And it's that third party that adds way more legitimacy, way more weight. So I shake your hand in an event, that's great. But I know someone that knows you, and they can say, oh yeah, he's a solid guy. That's the piece there that, okay, you stick in my head.
Yep, 100%. That gives you access. I call it the good dude credit, man. You gotta, hey bro, I got this guy. He's Navy SEAL. They have Delta Force. He used to be a Jedi, trained with the ninjas in Peru. And you're like, wow, this guy sounds like. As an employer, I'm looking for what, like, is he a good dude? Is he a solid guy? Like, does he have that, like, hey, there's a good solid man right here. Once I hear that, I'm good. The cool background and the lightsaber training and all that is but like, is he a solid dude? Is he a good dude? Okay, cool. Once I hear that, I'm like, boom, I can vouch for him. You vouch for him? All right, solid. So no, you're 100 on that, man, 100%. And then, continuing training. I know a lot of us get in this game, and it's honestly, it's one of the reasons I named the slogan of the podcast is what it is. Executive protection. Protection is more than just a job. It really is a lifestyle. I believe it's a way of life, and it's what you do when you're not on the job is what makes it so you can perform on the job. But what would you say about continuing training, my man? You know, in the life of most operators out there in the game.
So here's the thing. If you look at any industry that operates at a high level, the people that do the work are busy, right? But they still have to figure out time to recertify and to keep their edge sharp. So you could be, I've got relationships with, the NBA. And so the guys that are the elite in the NBA, and they still have to carve time out of their schedule to practice, right? They still have to be coached. They still have to be critiqued by individuals who are smarter than them. Maybe that don't shoot better than them or dribble better than them, but people who know the game, right? Who can tell them and adjust things to make them even better, even if they're operating at elite level. Yep. So I say all to say is, if those dudes got to do it, we got to do it. How many NBA games do they play? You know what I mean? A year?
Yeah,
so my point is that you can't say I'm too busy, right? And trust me, bro, I'm busy. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so but you have to figure out how to get it in, right? Yep. Now, training takes place in a lot of different ways. I think me and you talked about this once. I go to sleep to audiobooks, as in I put them in my ear and I go to sleep. So I have a list of the books, things that I want to get through, things that I want to learn, right? And then if I end up falling asleep, the next day when I wake up or I'm in the car or something like that, I just rewind to the last thing I remember. But the point is that I'm going to feed my mind with that versus the junk because I'm going to maximize my time. Yep. I remember Christian Russ, Christian, he came to, he was a guest instructor at the course, and he was talking about how he worked with this very prominent client who's extremely busy. And one of the things they did while they were providing the services for them was they figured out how to best maximize his time. And one of the ways was with them taking over the driving and dealing with the logistics, that allowed him to make the phone calls he needed to make while he was in the car. So it maximized, he could take meetings from this place to this place. And so I say all to say is that, and bro, I might be going a long way around to answer the question.
This is the good stuff, man. Paint the picture. Put the ketchup on it, man. All the lettuce, all the stuff, man. Let's go.
I say all this to say is that you can get continuing education, right? In the seams, in the folds of everything that you do throughout a day. You know what I mean? And how you choose to use those 24 hours is up to you.
Yep.
You can spend it on the socials, just doing the eternal Twitter scroll.
Doom scrolling.
Yep. You could spend that time doing that. You could, watching the junk food on TV. You know what I mean? Or you could say, I'll allow myself this guilty pleasure for 30 minutes a day. And then I'll spend the rest of my day doing this, whatever that time limit is. So all that to say, bro, is that those that are new are hungry and they're coming up.
Yep.
So, you know what I mean? So, that Kobe Bryant analogy, like he said, all his dudes was going and they was vacationing and they was enjoying time with their girls. And he's at a superstar level already and he's in the gym and he's just practicing. Exactly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's just putting up the shots, right?
Yeah.
So there's somebody that's coming behind you that's going to come for your spot.
Yep.
They're coming for my spot, right?
They're coming for my spot, bro.
Exactly. They're coming. But I welcome that, bro.
Yeah.
Because that means they're going to be better. But because of that, that's motivation for me. You know what I mean?
All right, we're going through your journey. Then you got on training day. Did it help you?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, I had like pages of notes.
Yeah.
And I was soaking it up. And then after that, shortly after, I got like a phone call from one of our mutual buddies.
Yeah, Caleb.
Yeah. And he had a detail. And I was like, yeah, like, what do you got? What days? And put me on it. And he's like, all right, yeah, let's do it. Cool. And then he found out that that I had actually done your training day. And he goes, Byron's? I was like, yeah. And he's like, that's my boy, dude. He's like my brother.
Yeah.
And I was like, really? Well, that's good to know. Like,
yeah,
maybe you can connect me to Byron sometime.
Yeah.
And then actually shortly after, like you hit me up on Instagram saying, "Hey, I talked to my guy Caleb, and he let me know that you did the training day.
Yep.
Like, I'd love to hear your experience and what you thought of it."
Yeah. No,
So,
it's cool, dude, because Caleb comes to me. Now, keep in mind, I started my career with Caleb, right? So like we started out 21 years old in this game. Like, we grew up in this game. Only thing I've ever done is executive protection, Marine Corps, EP. I've had 2 jobs. And so most of what I talk about in there is what we did, hitting 50, 60, 70 countries a year for 7 years straight, just like fastball. And so when he was like, "Yo, bro, this dude went through your course," it was kind of this funny moment, He was like, "Dude, if he's doing it the way we're doing it, he's solid." But then it was also like, I got another funny moment like this where one of my mentors called me up and he's like, "Hey, young blood." I'm like, "Yo, what's up?" He's like, "I got a guy sitting here. He asked me if I know Byron Rodgers." And I'm like, "Yo, it ain't like that, man." And he's like, "Yeah, no, it's all good. You doing your thing, young blood. You doing your thing." So it's really cool when you see those worlds collide and there's good things coming out of it, man. That's awesome. Heck yeah.
yeah.
Awesome.
So that was cool. And then that led to Caleb then referring me to LSI.
Yep.
Old Charles Law.
Yeah, man. And then he hit me up about you. There's the other side of the game. You know what I'm saying? Where we be hitting each other up, man, because we got Cali. We got a stronghold. There's a couple companies in Cali. And we're all connected enough. When somebody hops in the pot, we're always like, "Yo, you seen it? You know about this cat?" So it's an active market, but it's small at the top, man. So yeah, you're on the good side of the circuit. So yeah, heck yeah.
Yeah. Working with Charles was that was an honor. I could tell, like, just the way he handled things. He was quick. He had like answers. He always treated you like an equal.
Yeah.
And the things that he would lay down, I could tell. I was like, man, this guy knows this game.
Yep.
I hadn't met anyone that even compared to him until him.
Yeah.
And I was like, I want to get in this guy's head. This is like a guy you want to learn from.
Yep. No, 100%. He was one of the best bosses I had when I was coming up in the game as well. And he's been on this podcast. If you guys haven't listened to it yet, go back and check out the Charles, both of the podcasts we've done with Charles. There are mad gems in there, both for agents and for company owners, because he knows the business. He knows the business of it all for sure. And that's one of the main reasons I invited him to the EP Expo to speak, because nobody really, there's a lot of people in our industry that are amazing that haven't been given a platform. And the things he's going to drop on everybody at that event is going to be next level for sure. Thank you.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah, what'd you think of the hard skills?
That was intense. It's on Arizona, 110 degrees.
You guys went during a hot time, boy.
It was cool, man. I think I was the second class of the hard skills.
Wow.
So there was the number one class.
Yep.
And my class was the next one.
Yes. I remember
that. 222.
Yep, I remember that because I had a client ship me out to Greece for like half the year. So I couldn't actually be there for that one. I still to this day feel bad about that, man. And I was like, damn, like, what am I gonna do? I can't say no. What I mean? I'm not like a retired, guy running a school, like that was tough, man. I felt that. But you guys still got some good training from what I heard, and it was awesome to welcome you to the family. I just wish I could have shook your hand, man. You know what I'm saying? In that moment.
For sure.
Yeah.
It was cool though. You'd sent me a WhatsApp message, and it was one of your videos, and you're like, "Sorry, dude, I'm in Greece." I was like, he's like, "But the good news is I got to bring my honey with me," and so your wife was there too. I was like, "Oh, you can't be mad at that. You can't be mad at it."
Yeah, every once in a while we get ours in this game. Every once in a while, you know what I'm saying? That's what's up, man. Heck yeah. And then did you see professionally, did it impact your professional world going to the hard skills?
Absolutely. Yeah. We went there, we did the gunfighting section. That was really cool. I can't remember the name of the instructor, that's
Damien?
tatted.
Maybe Damien or
No, not Damien. He was there, but the guy that was actually doing the firearm like downrange.
yeah.
Can't remember. He's from the Arizona area.
I know exactly who you're talking about. It's not coming to me either. He owns a gun shop down there. He does all of our firearm stuff. He's gonna kill me.
Right?
Marine. He's like a Marine, man.
So cool. He's all black and white tatted,
Yep.
but you wouldn't even see him as that person because he wears sleeves, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden he like takes off the sleeves and stuff, and you're like, whoa. And just the way that he handles, like the guy's like a pro.
Yeah.
So that was cool.
Yeah.
Then there was Rick Sweeney.
Yep.
Learned another one of the best.
100%.
Then we did the
Ryan. That's his name. His name is Ryan.
Okay. There we go. Yeah, I had to like go and talk to him, get a picture and stuff, just because he was solid. And then so we had Rick Sweeney, and then we had the guy that taught us how to do like the getaway driving, like doing like figure eights and spin outs. Mm-hmm. So that was cool. And then being on that old airport road and like actually doing real chases.
Yeah. Counter pit.
Wow, bro. There was a couple of those guys because we're all rookies, right? We're all learning. And you hope everyone does really well, but then there's a little bit of a learning curve before they actually do it right.
Yeah. It's a gentle art when it's done right.
Yeah.
It's like boxing, you know what I mean? Like the real good guys they're like gentle, you know what I'm saying? Or even like Roland, you know how good the dude is because he's calm and but when you get like a beginner in there, they're scratching you up and you're just like, it's what it's like driving the cars, bro. It's like the beginners will actually hate you. The OGs will come up and just push you off the road and it'll be like, oh, it's like fun,
Yeah, it was cool. There was a couple of times where windows shattered, all kinds of fun stuff. So it felt like we were in it,
I remember
what's that?
I remember getting the bill. It's fine.
I was like, I hope these cars make it to the next class.
Yeah, that's what they're there for, man. Heck yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's good. No, I remember talking to Charles after that. I remember him saying that he was going to consider bumping his guys up based on the levels of certification they had in terms of pay. And so I was really happy to know that some of you guys were going to that course because he was like, dude, this just hits you're going to max my guys out. He's like, your course is going to max my dudes out. They're going to have the medical, they're going to have the driving, they're going to have the things that we want to incentivize them to get. So he was like, that's why I think that's a really good thing you're doing. So that was inspirational for me, man. Heck yeah. And then when did you kick off Iron Goat, bro? Welcome to the big game. Welcome to the owner.
Well, let's see. My wife, I have to give credit to my wife because she was the one that was like, you planted the seed, but you got that voice of doubt that comes at you. Like, that's Byron though. I'm not. This guy's got a lot of experience, like I don't even know where I would begin. Anyway, she's over there saying, stop talking like that. No, you can do it. Mm-hmm. One thing led to another. Next thing you know, we're getting the paperwork, we're filling it out, and we're applying for a PPO.
Yep. I remember that. I remember how quick it was. I remember being like, yo, my man Sam is making moves. He's flying through here, bro. I was like, hey, let's go, man. Let's go. There's certain guys, that hit me up and they're like, I'm going to start my own agency. And I'm like, okay. But you were one of the ones that I was like, yeah. It's that time. That's the type of money you want to make. You have so many of the attributes. The rest of it, you're going to figure out on the move. Because that's a lot of what it is, man. People think they have to be perfect before they jump. And it's like, no, dude, what you need to be is willing to do whatever it takes to get there. And jump, and you'll build that parachute by the grace of God, man. And I think that's the major differentiator between me and a lot of humans is I'll be like, if I feel like my Heavenly Father told me to do it, I'm not worried about how.
I just need to go get in the ring and start getting punched in the face. We'll figure it out. And he's always been faithful to meet me on the battlefield and help me punch through and hammer through. And then I get to the other side and I'm like, and I'm like, look what we did, man. You know, he's like, of course, this was the plan. And I'm like, oh my gosh, you know. So no, I respect you for that, man. Take this art seriously and you can get in the game. Invest in yourself, invest in training, and you can get in the game. As long as you're a good person and you're willing to invest in yourself and you're willing to go through the process, you can become a bodyguard, an executive protection agent, a close protection guy, an executive protection specialist. And what I want to talk about in this podcast is really just that. We have an amazing pipeline that's been able to get so many awesome people into this industry. And I want to roll out a new class that I'm super excited about and a new level of training, right? And this new course, we've made it so affordable. And relative to the other course offerings in the industry, we've made this course from one of the most highly recognized schools in the industry that's going to give you what I believe. I did my best to make this course give you more than many schools in 99% of this. I don't know another school that is going to give you as much as we're going to give you, but I don't want to say we're the best, and I don't want to say that, you know, I don't want to do that, but I do want to tell you that I'm doing everything I can to give you more than what I see is out there, an amazing opportunity to really not only get some of the best training in the world, but to continually get training and continually get mentorship from a highly recognized organization, and also get a network that I'm personally building for you to get you into this game. And that new course is coming up. Wait for it. And then we're going to talk a little bit about what I believe is the highest level of training that one of the highest levels of training the industry offers, and what we're giving as our highest level of training for those guys who really want to go as far and as fast as they can. And we've seen this product and structure of training work time and time again. But the reality with the League of Executive Protection Specialists and training with me and our instructors is that every course that we put together is literally designed for career success. When you spend money with us and you come and you train with me, I have a little window that opens up in the back of my mind where I'm like kind of paranoid, because I'm like, yo, this dude believes in us. This dude spent his money, dude or dudette, whatever, spent their money with us. They want to be part of the brotherhood. We have to make good on that investment. And so my whole goal for you guys, I don't know if you realize, those who are in the league, that's why we have so many testimonials, because they know this. But you guys who, and the reason I put up the testimonial page is because there's so much smoke and mirrors out there. You've got to get past people's BS meter, right? And that's correct. Like, you should have a BS meter. You should do research on anyone you're going to spend money with. You should look deep in the rabbit hole, right? But this is the rabbit hole for us. It's the fact that we have the most online testimonials of any other training organization in this industry. No one's got more real world testimonials than us. The most, you know, so that's real. You will spend more time getting mentorship after training than any other organization that I know of. And you will get a network that I'm building for you of students that have graduated that I'm making sure get in the industry. That is huge and extremely valuable to anyone who's serious about getting into this industry, right? And that is a lot of why our students are doing so good. And that's a lot of why they're willing to take a camera and put their face on the internet and say, hey, this is what Byron and the League of Executive Protection Specialists did for me by the grace of God. Because the reality is, a lot of schools, you'll go and you'll train, and you'll know how to be a good executive protection agent, maybe, depending on the quality of the training. And then that's it. Good luck. You learned how to do EP to a certain extent. You went through a course that's a week or a couple weeks, whatever. You did one EP, mock EP detail, and cool, you're a pro now. You can't become a pro at anything by doing just one run, right? That's one thing. Two, knowing how to do EP doesn't make you a good EP agent, okay? Knowing how to do EP makes it so you can do good EP work, but knowing how to do EP, what I really want to say, doesn't mean you're going to have a successful career. It's just like business. You could build the best glasses case ever. Like, wait a minute, this one's a little better. The best glasses case ever, right? I built the best glasses case ever. Well, if you can't do good business, which has to do with making it so that you can get this to market in the right quantities as quick as possible, someone's going to buy one, they're going to wait a month, and then your business is going to die, right? If you can't do good marketing, then no one's ever going to know about how awesome your best glasses case that you made ever is. And it's the same thing with this business. We have the data to prove that if you're competent and you're hungry and you do the process that we have, you will get into this industry. And I'll tell you another thing. I can say that with confidence. I can tell you another thing. I mean, you will get in this industry, and the proof is in the pudding. Go to our, I'm looking at the website right now, student review page at epspecialist.com, and you're going to see that we have literally helped a lot of people in this game. So here are a few testimonials just to prove what I'm saying to you guys. Just a few top level good ones. And then I'll go to this new course that we're rolling out that we've made cost effective for you guys. We have payment plans for this new course, and we're changing the game with this. So this stuff I'm super excited about. But first, I want you to hear from some of the students who have gone through our training.
My second tour ended in November. So
So second tour ended in November. So you came through the course, and then how long was it until you got on tour?
November, December, maybe 3 months. It was
3
like
months,
4 months, literally 3-4 months, and got a phone call. And I called you right after the phone call. I was like, yo, just got this phone call, this opportunity. And you were like, man, you got this, you know? And I'll never forget the advice you gave me was legit. You said, at the end of the day, just be a gentleman.
Yeah, bro.
Literally what you told me. And I was like, you go, because you got everything else. Yeah. And you gave me like the pep talk, and you said, just be a gentleman.
Yeah, bro. Just do what you do. Be a gentleman. And that'll kill it, man. And that's the game. And here we are.
He doesn't lie. I'm telling you, believe what he says. So.
Yeah, man.
It's all possible. And I must say, guys, so everybody here, we have already invested a lot of money, as you should do. But I did 2 details. I already got a lot of that money back. So even if you don't have work, just keep believing in it, do it, and you will make the money back, and invest in yourself.
When I'm going through the modules, it's really understanding the way you've come out, and I really like the way you've actually put the videos out, and the CV, digital image management, the resume, the job interview. That was really good. I was like, this is really good stuff.
Your training day video is legit. It's like, I don't want to hear excuses. You can find the time and the money to go buy this, but why can't you find the time to invest in you? And then you say something about, do you want to be
a specialist, or do you want to be a generalist?
That's exactly it. I want to be a specialist.
The material, the content provided, it starts you from ground zero and builds you up and actually gives you confidence in conducting details, managing social skills within the client's social circle. The biggest thing is I can take that information for the rest of my life. I have control of that content now, and it's just gonna help me in my career.
I'm telling you though, man, it's amazing. It's nothing I've come across. You went in depth on a lot of things that a lot of people didn't touch. You understand? Right. And you went into the service stuff. Social dynamics. I think that's an excellent module, man. I'm telling you, I keep on watching it. I'm like, yo, I'm glad I have access to this, because trust me, a lot of companies like, oh, okay, do the exam, see ya.
One of the things I really like is when you go to school, they give you, hey, this is the book learning. Then you get out in the real world, they're like, oh, forget all the book learning stuff. We're gonna teach you something different. And I think you're already preparing us for what's in the streets and what's going on ahead, and that's great. And you're giving us the book learning too, like here's some of the basics you can fall back on.
And I wanted to speak on the level of instructors too.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like I said, I'm not going to name names of the classes I've been to, but I've been to some pretty good courses. Some top level players and stuff like that.
Big names.
Big on IG, big on the internet. I see people wearing their T-shirts around here. Stuff like that. But everybody knows who those guys are. Right. Out here, I've never heard of any of these people. Never heard of them. I didn't even know they existed. But every single one of the instructors that's come out here have been the top of their industry. Every single. And people who come from a military background, you've been to the schoolhouse, you know, in the Marine Corps. I'm not talking about basic schoolhouse. I'm talking like follow-on courses, you know. And there's always like, you know, you can tell the instructors they're split. There's like the ones that are super dedicated, want to be there, they're passionate. When they get home when they're off to work,
they're gonna be thinking about like how they can get you information better.
They're all about it. Like their instruction is their hobby, right? You know. And then you see that there's a couple instructors who just don't care. They're just there because they got their orders there, and that's whatever.
And it's chill for them.
And it's just like whatever. I just got to do this from 9 to 5. But here, every single instructor, this is their life. We don't have anybody who's like, oh, I'm good at the shooting, and I'm good at the driving, and I go to the hand-to-hand stuff, and I teach all of it. No. The drivers, that's their life.
Yeah.
These are professional drivers. Yeah. They're like race car drivers. They've trained some of the, you know, top levels. Right. The shooter, you know, shooting instructor, he's at the top of his level. And I've never had a shooting instructor who says, oh, I have a optometrist and I have a psychologist and a kinesiologist all on staff. And every time he teaches us something, he says, hey, do it this way because, you know, it's better than this. And he'll say, you know, I measured myself with, you know, all this whatnot.
All the sensors
and we did the timing and we saw that
there's levels to this.
There's levels different. And I'm learning things the next level. Yeah. And it's amazing.
Yeah, man.
It's amazing.
The Executive Protection Professional Certificate course. This is a course that is unlike anything we've offered before here at the League of Executive Protection Specialists. The whole entire premise for this course is how can we put together the most complete training package to help executive protection professionals elevate their career or launch them into a successful career with what we have at the school and what any agent needs moving forward to be successful. The course itself lasts days, but the value you get from attending this course as a professional is infinite. The course is a blend between hard skills and soft skills. Your training begins with our online suite of digital training. The Executive Protection Training Day Success Package is a course that's helped hundreds of executive protection professionals launch successful careers in the industry today. The course consists of 2 primary quadrants. First and foremost, professional development. Then it gets into social dynamics, and then it gets into operational knowledge. The reality of the Training Day Success Package is that it's a complete online learning education designed to help you achieve career success, but then also designed to help you execute on executive protection operations with soft skills that will make you one of the best in the game. One of the favorite things that I hear time and time again is when our agents go out on details and people are like, who trained you? And they're like, man, I got all this from an online learning course. So the Training Day Success Package stands alone as a course that has helped many achieve success and also that has helped so many operationally. Additionally, you'll get access to the Master's Class. The Executive Protection Master's Class is a membership to a course that I am constantly adding more and more modules. It's taught by over a dozen of the top leading operators in the executive protection industry professionals that have done more than me in the game and that have different specialties, and they'll teach you upper management level skills that are going to help you take your career to the next level. Beyond that, you'll get access to the Executive Protection Essentials Package, which is an over-the-shoulder documentary style look at what it's like to spend a day in the shoes of an executive protection professional. During this training program, I execute on a number of different metrics that you will experience when you're conducting executive protection operations. Everything from FBO operations to surveillance and detection to operating with your clients in 1-man, 2-man formations in places as simple as grocery stores all the way up to full-on venues and securing a venue with your client. It's all in there and you get to see it all happen in the real world. From there, you'll go to our in-person training operation out here in Southern California, where we will conduct a training battery that consists of not only the basics, but some of the most important things that you'll need to launch an effective career. We'll go over protection dynamics, attack on principle, what to do when you're on the red carpet, what to do if someone's vectoring in on your principal and your client, and you'll learn how to deal with physical threats in the real world. After that, we go into our advanced module. And this is when you pull the information from your online learning platforms and you begin implementing it in the real world in real time. You will conduct actual advances, and these will be the same advances that are going to inform you on how you're going to run the itinerary when we start putting you with clients during the later part of the course. After that, we get into technical surveillance countermeasures, TSCM. How do you detect bugs? Can you sweep very scariest environments. We'll take you through a battery of different environments so that you can actually implement these skills in the real world so that they become second nature for you when you are out there on the job. The next phase of the in-person training is the Immersion course, which is one of our legendary flagship courses, which is designed to make it so that you can conduct executive protection operations with some of the highest levels of confidence, because you're going to do it with us out there in the field. This course is extremely realistic, and you're going to get multiple iterations at executing on multiple different types of operations. Everything from high-risk details, two-man details, dealing with surveillance and surveillance detection, dealing with actual threats. You're going to have an actual principle that you're going to get to run through your cadences with, first under supervision and then left seat, right seat. Then ultimately, by the end of the course, you will be running your own executive protection operations on autopilot. And this is where you really start to integrate some of the most valuable components that come from this type of training. We didn't want to just give you one executive protection operation at the end of your training and tell you you're good at it, because no one's good at it after one experience in the game, right? We want to give you multiple experiences. So the whole last half of the week is dedicated to helping you hone your skills and get real world feedback, both from your clients and from our instructors who will be with you on these operations. The massive takeaway that people get when we train them like this is confidence. And then knowing that you can do executive protection operations on your own. This is massive. Additionally, during this course, we have a medical quadrant, which will allow patrons to walk away with an NAEMT medical certifications in TCCC, first aid, and AED, making you even more potent when it comes to finding jobs and opportunities in the executive protection industry and being able to perform on the job. Remember, your medical skills are one of your most important hard skills. In fact, I'd say medical is one of the hard skills you have the highest probability of needing to use on any given day of your life. And additional to that, you can reference myself and our instructors as professional references moving forward into the industry, because when company owners call us, I can tell them how you operated out there in the game when we ran all of our mock details. As a company owner, it's extremely valuable to hear from another company owner what the capabilities of the people that they're considering bringing on the team really truly are. So this has turned out to be one of the most valuable things that we've been able to do for all of our patrons. And then the final component, which is optional, is the California BSIS licensing component. In this component, if you do not have a California BSIS guard card or exposed weapons permit, you will have an opportunity to acquire one during this battery of training. This gives you access to one of, if not the most valuable and busiest markets in the executive protection industry. You can acquire these licenses without actually needing to be in the state in many cases, which then gives you the option of coming back to California and continuing or launching your career. So that's absolutely invaluable. And you'll get these licenses from a reputable school in the executive protection industry that is highly recognizable, launching you into your executive protection career the second those licenses are registered online. The beauty of the executive protection professional course is that it is truly a complete education in the operational aspects and many of the hard skills of executive protection. And our professionals walk away from this course not only with superior training, but also with a superior experience from the operations we run out there in the field, with an online learning library that they'll get access to for the rest of their careers. And they can always go back to the classroom if they need to learn more based on the different missions that they're going to be operating on as professionals. And finally, we have what we call the trifecta of success, which is really our massive differentiator from anything else out there in the industry, which is the reality that not only do you get superior training from the school, but you get access to the League of Executive Protection Specialists, which is an international network of hundreds of agents all around the world that share opportunities and work together. Many of our students and patrons relate to me on an almost weekly basis that all the work they got starting out and almost all the jobs they do come from our highly active network, because we have such a strong culture as we aim to be the golden standard in the executive protection industry. Beyond all of this, you will get access to ongoing mentorship. You will never have to do your career alone again, because at the League of Executive Protection Specialists, you'll have access to video conferences with myself and my instructors for the rest of your career at least twice per month. So if you get stuck in your professional development, or if you're going on an operation you've never been on, or if there's anything that you have questions about, you can either pop into our online learning platform, our own social media platform just for the school, and ask the student body, in which you'll get answers instantly, or you can hop on one of our video conferences and ask the class, network, and ask me as well during these bi-monthly coaching sessions. I do this in order to ensure the accountability that I'm doing everything I can to make sure my students win professionally in the executive protection industry. And the reality is that in many cases, when students come through and do everything that we've called them to do in training, they get the cash they invest in themselves back in their pocket within 90 days. And I stand by that. The Executive Protection Professional Certificate course is a course that the industry's never seen before. It is a complete education in what you need to be an effective and successful executive protection agent. You've got to remember that everything I do when it comes to training is aimed at career success, and this course is no different. So check out the details below this video and let's train together. Let's do our careers together, and let's take the industry to the next level as we join forces to be the golden standard in the executive protection industry. Byron Rodgers, protector by nature and by trade, reminding you that protection is more than just a job. It really is a lifestyle.
We have such similar value, man. It makes perfect sense why we've been following each other for a minute.
Facts. You were posting the stuff I was thinking.
Yeah, same, dude. And I think the way I always approach that is, with masculinity, it's like, you have a responsibility. Why do we acquire power? Why do physical, mental, emotional, financial potency, all these different things that a man is tasked with acquiring so that you can provide and protect? Why do we, when you start to hit puberty and you start to have, back in the day when you start to hit puberty and you start to become stronger than most people, these new guys, man,
when that wasn't demonized, the ability to hit puberty to correct that.
Yeah, man, and these new dudes, there's such a biological attack on some of these new young bloods. They're feminine and don't even realize it,
right?
From all the things they've been pumping into their bodies. But we acquire power as men. What's the purpose? The purpose is service. And we are strong to be of higher levels of service. And we must become stronger to be of higher levels of service. Because I tell you, on this planet, and you know this, you know it from being in the streets, and I know it from war, the strongest man generally wins. Good or bad, homie. Good or the best warrior doesn't always win the battle. You know what I'm saying? It ain't like I think one of the biggest disservices Hollywood has done is just happy endings. No matter what's happening, it's a happy ending. Nah, bro, if I'm not better at violence and more effective than this other dude, he's going to choke out and it's going to suck. And he's going to do what he wants afterwards. So we have a responsibility as good men to be formidable in service to the tribe and the innocent and the people that we want to protect, man. I love that.
It's one of the things I say to my guys all the time. I want you to be so secure and so positive in your ability to be violent that you can work on your communication skills and all these other things. Listen, if it has to go to 0 to 10,
I hope not.
We're good. I live there. That's fine. That's my neighborhood. You want to come visit? That's fine.
I feel home. I'm literally like, hello, darkness. No, darkness, my old friend. Like,
why are your
part of me that's going to be like, finally.
Why are there pictures of your family hung up here? Because I live here, sir.
Yeah, exactly. I love it. But
again, that allows you to be compassionate, be kind, be caring. So it's amazing. Some of the stories that people will tell about me. Like when we talk about stuff, it's not the violent stories that they'll tell about. Like the young kids that think that that's cool, that's fine. But it'll be like the kid that was lost that you helped out, or there was that one woman that did this. It's you are going to be remembered for your compassionate stories over your violent stories.
100%. And I think another huge piece of that is, I think there's a responsibility. I think the real epidemic we have in the world is weak men. There's an epidemic of weak men that have allowed things to go this way. There's an epidemic of weak men that aren't speaking up right now, that aren't standing against things right now. Like, the forefathers would have been burning things in the streets. They literally
100%
wouldn't even have let this get this crazy. And thank God for
wigs off, just like, all right, let's go.
Yeah, this would have been a big problem already. But, we as men, it's like you gain strength, gain capabilities, gain these things
so that you can, because like you meet a real guy like me or you, right? Like we're in the same room. We're going to be the most nice, respectful, loving. I say good morning.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. Yeah, absolutely.
I'm like the worst gym bro ever. I walk in the gym. I'm like, what's up, guys? Boom. I'm dapping everybody. I'm being respectful. Half of them are too insecure to look at me in the eyes. I'm like walking around like just can't look at me because they just can't do it. And I'm like, yo, what's up, man? Good to see you. Good to see you here again. And I'm spreading that because I know who I am and I'm totally comfortable. And if someone gets weird, then I'm still nice because I still know.
100%. I'll tap dance on your ass with this smile on my face. But again, the most important thing, and that's what I'm big on is, you know who's paying attention to you being cool and you being nice and watching the other weaker guys have to flex up are the kids. The kids are seeing that man right there. He's exuding confidence. He's exuding positivity. He's nice to everybody. And he could wipe this whole room out if he needed to.
If he wanted to. Exactly.
If somebody takes his water bottle, we're all in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, bro. Like if someone takes his plate rack, someone rolls up on a Smith machine. But I love that. That's real masculinity, you guys. Right. The killers that I've met, the dudes that have done that stack bodies overseas and all that, they're the most relaxed, chill guys. You bump into them in Home Depot. You would have no idea who the heck they are.
And they'll apologize before you will. Because they don't want. You don't know what you just bumped into. I'm going to give you the grain of salt. You don't know.
100%, bro. Because for a few reasons. One, they know who they are. They know what they're capable of. That's mature masculinity. It's all the young guys who usually are trying to figure things out. But also, we have a value system. I was literally talking to myself about this yesterday. We have a value system, and then we're going to talk about some EP stuff, but this is good stuff. We have a value system that is very strong. And so I am default respectful everywhere I go because I don't want to I can't, if I'm in a position where I have to do something, it has to be so much the other guy's fault. And it has to be so egregious. It has to be to where it's like, I have no choice. So I'm doing everything I can everywhere I go to make sure I am above reproach. And I represent God, trying to represent God's glory in a human form to everyone I meet, you know? And so because of that, because we're really guys that really can and have and will do things, we are, and if you look at any dangerous society, samurais, cowboys, back used to do things. You're going to see a lot of respect. They're using proper English. They're because everyone knows people can die on any day.
And and again, that brings it back to the emotional maturity, the emotional masculinity of
intelligence.
I'm in control. Like you're not going to put me in a fear point. You're not going to anger me to a point because I know that if you say something to me that's a little disrespectful, the outcome of it is not going to be equal to the disrespect that I've received. So it's like, so please.
Like, let's just be cool, man.
Let's just be cool. Hey man, you don't know me. I don't know you. You won the verbal battle before you end up with the toe tag. Like, let's just walk away from each other.
Exactly. And then I got to do all this other stuff. No, 100%. I love it, man. That's real masculinity, man. The confidence that comes from experience, competence, working on yourself.
Right.
So you know what you're capable of. This is the good stuff, man. And it's an energy. I love it, man. Yo, all right. So, like, take me back, Big Adam. How did you get in the game? How long you been doing the stuff? All this, man.
So I'm like a 20+ year guy. I started running bars, security at bars in Boston when I was going to school up there.
Real quick.
Yeah.
Y'all, this is one of the best educations and protection you can get. I wish more of you EP agents out there actually had to do some like bouncing or some real security before we got like the clean, pretty EP jobs. Because you're going to learn, you're going to have to go hands-on frequently on any given night, and you can get killed doing this work. So like it's high risk and you're dealing with intoxicated people. And so you actually have to learn security when you're in the bars and nightclubs, bro. It's like not a joke.
Yeah.
You know, and then fly on the private jets and eat the crumpets and all this.
Get to see the concerts up close.
Yeah.
So I ran a couple bars up in Boston when I went to school, played some college football up there. Came back down to North Jersey where I'm from, ran a couple clubs in New York and New Jersey, right on the border up there. And it's a skill set, man. You learn a lot. You learn a lot about yourself. You learn a lot about other people. But most importantly, especially for the EP side of it, situational awareness. Physical stance, watching people. Like, here's the thing: is if you square up with somebody in a bar and they got cauliflower ear, understand that guy is not new to this.
Yeah. He got the mouthpiece at home, bro.
That guy
doesn't have a mouthpiece in his pocket, bro.
You have a long day coming. He's going to pop the little things on. Now you're wrestling.
Right.
But it also taught me liability. It taught me self-respect, self-control, and a skill set of running into people. Like, again, you have to understand where you are. You're at a bar. People are drinking. Now, why are they there? Are they there to have a good time? Most people are there to have a good time, meet a girl, do this, do that. So if you run into somebody that's a problem, it's one of two things. Either there's something going on in their life or they overdid it.
Mm-hmm.
If they overdid it, you're not drunk at a library, you're drunk at a bar. It's understandable.
Right.
If you see somebody who's like a little bit off, my number one thing with my guys is I always taught them, hey man, you don't know where this guy's coming from right now. You could have just found out his mom's sick. His girlfriend could have just broke up with him. Now, do you add fire to that? Or do you add compassion to fire and say, hey man, listen, I came over. I just want to see that you are right. There's a little bit going on. I wanted, before I got too far, here's what it is. Like, if I'm paying attention to you, there's a reason. And I don't know what the reason is, and I'm not judging you, but I'm telling you, you need to calm down a little bit, slow it down a little bit, and
enjoy
that. That will separate them from who they are. If they turn around with a "Who are you?" All right, now you've escalated to "Who are you?" I'm wearing a goddamn shirt that says security on it. Like,
security. Right.
I'm not the maitre d'. I'm 380 pounds. I'm not the maitre d', and I'm not the chef. I'm here to talk to you. So.
Yeah.
And then skill sets on, different tactical situations as far as, if you're going against, there's 10 guys at the bar and one guy's being a jerk. Right. You don't approach the jerk in front of his friends for two reasons. A, it's a numbers game, but B, respect.
Right.
You always give a man an option out. You always give a man an option out. Now, if you call him out in front of the 10 guys, now there's ego involved.
Yep.
Wait till him and maybe one other guy go to the bathroom, pull him aside. Man, I didn't want to do this in front of your friends.
Yep.
Here's what's going on. I paid attention to you. I want you guys to have a good time. The bar loves you. You guys are spending money. The girls are here. Do me a favor. Do me a solid. Just calm it down. Now, that's two different outcomes: in front of the 10 friends or with him and one other guy.
100%. And I love that you're saying that, man, because it's such a superpower Jedi mind trick to be able to use your social dynamics to de-escalate a situation, mitigate all liability, and have a good night where you don't have to go and get crazy and then worry about all the things on the back end. Boom. If you've been enjoying the podcast, I want to encourage you to come and train with me. Train with us, the League of Executive Protection Specialists. We offer online courses so you can train and learn how to take your executive protection career to the next level from the comfort of your own home. We offer on-ground training on everything from the hard skills of driving, shooting, medical, and into the soft skills through the Executive Protection Immersion course, which is one of the most experiential, learning-centric courses in the executive protection industry. Either way, I want you to become part of the golden standard in the private security industry and join the brotherhood, the League of Executive Protection Specialists. Go to epspecialist.com and let's do our careers together. I'll see you there. Out. So, I mean, like this stuff is the stuff, man, that we do this podcast for, man. Social dynamics. I've done a million cool classes, trained, whatever. And in our online course, I'm always like, so what was your favorite course? Part of the course, I'm always asking the students, and they're always like, the social dynamics, man. And I'm like, man, like, I want to be like my principal, protection. They're like, nah, bro. Social dynamics is what gets me this job and has kept me in the game 100%. So
but it's also the most across the board teachable thing to people, because people are in social interactions and stuff like that. When I deal with, I'll deal with, because whether it's EP or bar security, when you hire guys and they'll say, like, I have a military background or a police background or this, or I just, whatever. Military and police background guys, you're used to having backup, technology, 40 guys showing up in a minute. When you're in the South Bronx and you're out in the street with 3 drunk guys, you can't call in an aerial strike. Like, you are by yourself. Like, you are going to find out who you are.
Yep, you're going to find out who you are.
Real quick.
You can't badge your way out of anything. You don't have the moral high ground. Like this. It's just you, bro.
It's just you, and it's the communication you have. It's your energy, your stance, and there's nothing scarier than being up against three guys and them go, all right, who's going first? Yeah. Because they know that guy's willing to go. Yep, and that's the little social things that we learn throughout doing that. And again, the secondary part of it, and this is the more corporate side, is the liability. Think about the liability. You know, you hurt somebody in court, none of this matters. But secondarily, as far as the club goes, think about it. Big fight breaks out. You drag a bunch of people out, a couple of people leave. Who's the first group to leave? The people with the money, because they don't want to be around that stuff. They're spending a lot of money. They don't want to be in a blood and guts bar. Right. So now you cost the bar money. Now the good people leave. Now they hear it's a fight club. Who shows up? The guys who want to fight.
All the time. For the next.
Every time.
Yeah, 100%.
Every time. I really think that there's like a group chat that they have. Like, oh, they're swinging over at so-and-so's. Meet you over there. They got good hot wings too. So we'll be there in 20 minutes.
If you don't catch a blade or a pencil in your ear from the guy, because combat is expensive and the best dudes don't always win, bro. Like,
no, you're gonna
over the back of the head.
Yeah, you can knock three guys out and then you're celebrating a little bit and then you get a stool in the ear. And then by the way, you pissed them off because there's three guys down now, and now you're unconscious. They're not going to make sure you're okay. They're gonna clean the shoes off on your head.
Yeah, man. No, that's so man. So no, I love that you're saying that. Even the thing that people say a lot that you mentioned, the situational awareness you learn from working in that environment, where to stand, how to stand, and what to pay attention to. Because like you bounce long enough, it's literally like it's like seeing through the Matrix. You could be across the whole entire room. You'll see two dudes make contact, and you'll be like, "This dude is about to punch that guy," and you almost can't get there fast enough.
And you're just like you're in your head going, don't.
Yeah, here we go. Yep. But that is such a skill for life, because when you're moving through the world or when you're moving with a client, that edge keeps you ahead of the ding. That keeps you left of bang 99% of the time.
100%. And it's all prep game. It's all reading the crowd. It's all, and that's the thing is as far as going to EP, the thing I had to unteach myself is when you're in a bar, you're responsible for the whole location. So everything that happens
is all
you're gone. You're at it. Now, doing that for 5 or 6 years at a high level with places that were not nice. Going to EP and realizing that your only responsibility is your client and trying to shut off all the bar side of it, because you see that fight happening and you're trying to get like event security's attention, like, bro, I got to stay here, but over there. And that's again another skill set, but again, watching the guys that do it right, watching the guys that teach like you. And this is where my biggest set of kudos goes to you, is you're so willing to teach little tips, little nuggets. People are better off running into you than not, in the way that they're learning, whatever skill set it is, they're gaining information. There's also certain people in the industry that like to get to a certain level and be like, oh, nope. Not telling you anything. It's like, what are you the dragon hiding gold? Like, what are you doing? Like, everybody else is out there. Like, we're all in a village trying to eat here. Like, could you just give me something?
Yeah, man.
And that's the important part. And I think, especially now with the way things are, we really got to come together. And there's so much on the other side, and they don't have rules. They don't follow guidelines. They don't have a level of right and wrong. And by the way, they're funded out the rear end by people, because again, a lot of the money comes from that side. They got the money doing those certain things.
You're right.
So our greatest value is our faith. Our greatest value is our community. Our greatest value is what we can give. And I do believe, like I said, I believe that God gave me a purpose, and my purpose was to be a protector. And that's a responsibility. And the responsibility I owe to him is to get this done at the highest level, to teach below me, to do my job at the highest level, and to again feel like you were given a gift to make it. The greatest gift back to him is doing it at the highest level.
Boom! Quick shout out to our sponsor, Staccato. My first pistol sponsor. I've been sponsored by a lot of companies, right, over the years. But when it comes to pistol, that's my bread and butter. Pistol is something I believe in. You know, I'm a competitive shooter. You know, we're shooting anywhere from, 800 rounds a month type of thing, right? So Staccato, being what I believe, is one of, if not the most complete handguns you can put in your hand. It's got every component that a handgun could have, should have. They're actually extremely dependable now that they've made some changes, and these things are straight up tack drivers. If you're looking for a pistol that will do as much of the work for you as a piece of hardware can, obviously you have to have the marksmanship and all the different things, but different guns perform at different levels. And I want to say that Staccato is one of, by far, for sure, take it from a competitive shooter, we're shooting the highest volumes of rounds constantly right now. Not used to have a background guy, but like right now, when you go shoot, you're gonna see certain brands. Staccato is one of, if not the highest performing firearm that is both CCW, duty ready, and also competitive ready. So I want to give them a shout out. If you guys are looking for a good handgun to build your skills on top of, go check out Staccato. Much love and respect. Boom. When it comes to the technology you use to protect your home, there's nothing better than Deep Sentinel. AI-driven, human-monitored technology that will keep you and your family safe for the same price you're paying for whatever Ring doorbell system you have. Check out Deep Sentinel. It's such an honor to join forces with these guys. They should be in every single house in the world. Get real-time Overwatch for you and your loved one. And for 10% off, depending on when you're watching this, don't forget to use code Byron at checkout. Boom. And to support this podcast, go to executiveprotectionlifestyle.com and contribute to our Patreon account. That Patreon account is what helps me make this podcast possible, contributing to this brand, what we're doing here, making it so that I can bring better guests on, making it so that we can plan more events and just expand the contribution to the private security industry, and also to making America a safer place. Do whatever you can, contribute whatever you can, because it makes all of these things possible. Thanks for those contributions.